Well, first and foremost, the minister is the Minister of Foreign Affairs. He's more or less like Nigeria's foreign spokesperson or image maker. Of course, he has a responsibility to, speak in a manner that the government is not left bare and the country is not that much exposed. But I have been following both the Foreign Affairs Minister and the President, and I must say that I am impressed with the professionalism and maturity both him and Mr. President had exhibited in the way they had handled this matter so far when compared to some of the bombastic and the belligerent comments that are coming from some motopark touts, when the threat from President Trump first surfaced, I think in a couple of other networks, I was quite clear that President Trump is going to act and that Nigerians should not take that threat lightly because Donald Trump has a base that he has to politically satisfy. The Christian, the evangelical Christians
base, yeah,
that actually helped to propel him to power both in 2016 and in 2024. And so every comment that he makes is for that particular voting bloc. Now, having said that, I think that if we don't diagnose our problems right, we're going to come up with wrong solutions to it. In as much as the Nigerian problem, there is element of terrorism in the Northwest that is involved in it. The problem is much more complicated than the way it is being simplified, right? Nobody has talked about the issue of the herders-farmers clashes that had claimed so many lives in the Middle Belt. It is still there. So Nigeria has a multifaceted insecurity problem that this one strike cannot address. There's also the issue of Sharia law in northern Nigeria, of which, unfortunately, we saw what happened in the same Sokoto state, where a young lady, Deborah Samuel Yakubu, was in a broad daylight lynched and stoned to death by his fellow schoolmates. And up till now, none of those people responsible for the death of that innocent young lady has been brought to book. So these are some of the things that the Americans are seeing, which is why they are tagging this thing as a religious, some kind of religious persecution. And it's difficult to convince Americans otherwise when you have that kind of situation that happened in Sokoto State. And that's not the only place where similar things have happened and people have not been brought to book. So that makes it much more difficult for us to convince them to see it any way other than some of the things that are depicted in those kind of situations.